What is up, everybody? Purple and Gold Podcast, Friday, August 21st. We're going to go through and do an offensive preview here after the first 3 weeks of camp, but we're going to start with some big news that dropped this afternoon. Notre Dame transferred defensive end junior Tui Amalaka has committed to LSU. He is one of the players who was granted the temporary restraining order. He will be eligible to play for LSU as of right now. He brings a veteran presence to the defensive end group, over 1,000 snaps in his career. He had 3.5 tackles for loss and 3 sacks last year. And he would be, I think, in the mix in the 2 deep for LSU, and certainly some insurance should any of their starters at edge be injured. As we have a little technical difficulty here, bear with me. This is noteworthy because also today the appeals court overruled the Colorado judge who blanketed and made every 2022 class person in the 2022 class eligible. That has now been overturned. So each individual player will have to go to an individual state court in order to become eligible. More on this as it develops. Not sure what this means for Jack Pyburn. Not sure what this means for future LSU additions to the football team, but certainly a big one today, junior Tui Amalaka. So I thought we'd just go through position by position on offense, give a little update 3 weeks in. So obviously at quarterback, everyone wants to know about Sam Leavitt. Sam Leavitt looks great. All indications are he's healthy. Lane Kiffin described him as making some very adult throws. He's mobile. He doesn't seem limited by the injury at all, so that's good news. I expect Husan Longstreet to be the backup and Landon Clark to be the third-string quarterback. At running back, there's been some interesting developments. So Harlem Berry scored 3 touchdowns in the scrimmage last Saturday night. Then Harlem Berry kind of sat out a couple of days afterwards for the portion that the media was allowed to view. There were some reports that he was just sick. We know about Dylan Jones. We know about Harlem Berry. That's going to be the 1-2 punch. The interesting piece to this is it seems like Central Florida transfer Stacy Gage has really wrestled that third running back spot away from what I would call an incumbent in Caden Durham. So that'll be interesting to watch as we go 15 days out from LSU and Clemson. Tight end, Tradez Green, you know it. Malachi Thomas, the backup. Zach Grace is operating there as also like an H-back. Tradez Green would really be a tight end in name only, though. He's not going to do really any, if at all, inline blocking. He is going to be treated as a receiver and is likely to be LSU's leading receiver. On the offensive line, left to right, it has been the same as it was when camp started. You're looking at Jordan Seaton at left tackle, Bo Bordelon at left guard, Braylon Moore at center, Alu Ba at right guard, and Weston Davis at right tackle. There are reports that Weston Davis has been very impressive lately at right tackle, and that's good to see. Sean Tompkins, the Baylor transfer, looks like he's the backup at both left and right tackle. I believe Devin Harper is the backup at both left and right guard and could play some right tackle. And there appears to be a battle for the backup center between William Satterwhite, who transferred in from Tennessee, and the true freshman Ryan Moret. In addition to that, Lane Kiffin has talked about how he would like to expand on some of the depth. I do think they like Bryson Martinez a lot. He's a true freshman. He's a tackle. I don't think he's the backup left tackle, but I think they view him as a future contributor there. And then I think they've experimented a little bit with a guy like Satterwhite at tackle. I know Sprinkle from NC Central has played and gotten some guard reps. So I think they would ultimately like to get to 9 or 10 reliable linemen. They may be somewhere around 8 right now. There were other guys in the mix too. Other transfers as well, who could get playing time if they were pressed into that. And then you go to the receivers, and this has been fun. So Jace Brown, the Kansas State transfer, certainly is LSU's number one wide receiver. Again, we talked about Trey'Dez Green. You've got Winnie Watkins. You've got Trey Wilson, the Florida transfer. Jackson Harris, the Hawaii transfer. All of those guys have been impressive at different times. Phillip Wright, the only remaining holdover in the room who was on LSU's team last year from Destrehan, has made some plays. Malik Elzy, a big-bodied receiver, a transfer from Illinois, has made some plays. And then Roman Mothershed, who is 6'2", 208 pounds, give or take, is a wide receiver, a transfer from Troy. The last few days, he has been working with the tight ends. And what this has me wondering is LSU going to have like a red zone package where maybe Jace Brown and Elzy and Trey'Dez Green and the bigger, taller receivers are in the game, split out, and maybe a guy like Mothershed is in there at tight end or in there in the slot? That'll be something to monitor. But all of the reports are good. Jabari Mack, the freshman wide receiver from Destrehan, has been in a gold no-contact jersey. But other than that, knock on wood, there hasn't been really any injuries to report. And it seems like it's going to be full steam ahead with Lane Kiffin and Charlie Weiss's offense. Sam Levitt with the green dot, all of the tempo, all of the mobility, all of the quarterback running plays. Sam Levitt seems poised to be the next Matt Corral, Jackson Dart in this offense. So that'll do it for me on a Friday. I do want to leave you with a little bit of good information and good news. Cat's been out of the bag a little bit. Starting on August 28th, which is a Friday, every Friday from 12 to 1 Central, I will now be co-hosting the Friday Football Fix with Coach Bruce Thornton on WRBE-FM. You can listen to that on WRBEFM.com or on any of your assisted devices. And it would be great if you guys would all give it a listen, as my dogs have entered the Tiger Den despite the door being closed and now making a lot of noise in the background. Anyway, have a wonderful weekend. Enjoy your weekend. This is the last real weekend without football. If you're doing fantasy drafts, enjoy that. I'm always open for fantasy football questions. You can follow me on X at RobG1124, Instagram and Facebook, Rob Gossel. Please like and share and subscribe to the channel. And if you know anybody else, if you got a wife, a girlfriend, a mom, just get them to subscribe as well, because it really helps me out. As always, be good to one another. Always boot up, always hold the rope, and always, always, always go Tigers.